Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary and high school age. Today we're going to be working on January goals, so let's get into it. Okay, if you've been watching my goals videos this week, you will know that I did not post a Q1 action plans goals video, which I almost always do. I was really struggling with filming my 2025 goals and wanted to get everything up for this week, but also I realized that I have a lot of yearly reset things that I do, and those are centered around my goals. I would love to be somebody who's able to set my goals at the beginning of December for 2025 and just be done with it. That is not me, and I mentioned this in my membership community that I've been sharing my goals online since 2012. I think was the first year that I shared goals on Townsend House, and I almost always shared my goals in the middle of January because I used the week between Christmas and New Year's to kind of reflect on the previous year and figure out the projects that I wanted to work on in the new year. And by the time I had finished all of that and done all of my yearly reset stuff, it was the middle of January, and that's when I kind of started my goals. I thought that I was going to be able to get things all done early this year, and I just hit a block. I could not make it past my 2025 goals. I have filmed my 2025 goals video. If you are new and you have not seen that, I will leave it linked for you in the description box. Definitely go watch that one. It's a little rambly, as most of my videos are, but I hit a block. I knew the goals that I had for 2025, but I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do for quarter one. And the reason is because I haven't done my yearly reset yet. That is actually ongoing for this entire week. And I do plan to kind of start my goals on January 6th for 2025, but I wasn't sure what I was going to accomplish between Christmas and New Year's or the first few days in January because it hasn't happened yet. And so I kind of stopped and realized, okay, I just need to take a step back. I have my goals, which are all kind of big overarching goals. They're life direction goals. They're not necessarily time-bound completion goals. They're more of just, directional goals. That's kind of how I always describe them. And I was trying so hard to figure out what I wanted to do for Q1, but because I haven't sat down and really looked at the calendar and figured everything out, all of the time commitments we already have, what I actually want to start with in January, and what I'm going to get done for projects between Christmas and New Year's, because we're not homeschooling, we don't have any, activities or anything like that. It's kind of just a free week where I get to focus on resetting the house, planning things, getting my finances all in order, closing 2024, starting 2025. I realized that I can't put Q1 plans together because I'm just not ready for it. And so I don't have a Q1 action plans video. I may come back at some point in January with Q1 action plans, but as I was going through my goals notebook and trying to think about what I want to do first in 2025, I realized that most of the things on there are January things. And until I get those kind of in my tending list, I can't think about the quarter as a whole. So if you are stuck in your goal setting, it's okay to skip things. It's okay to skip things in prep work if you just can't think of what to write about. It's okay to skip giving yourself a grade in all of the cultivated life evaluation categories. It's okay to not set your goals in those CLE categories. I don't. You need to make whatever goal system you're using work for you. And if you think you need to do something specific in a certain order, but you're hitting a wall, you could just skip over that. And so finally, I gave myself permission to skip Q1 action plans. I have not done my Q1 action plans. I have these little sheets. I don't have any with me at the moment. I don't see them on my desk either, that I printed out from Cultivate What Matters years ago. And it has projects and, starting steps. And that's kind of how I break down my goals for each quarter. And I haven't done that yet. And that is totally okay. So we are moving right into January. What I'm going to do, I have not written out my tending list. I don't even know exactly what I'm working on. I do have some ideas because I've brainstormed a lot of this in my goals notebook. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to work through setting up the tending list together. I don't use every single page in the PowerSheets, which I will share with you when I turn the camera around. But just know if you're stumbling through goal setting, you can focus on just right now. You don't have to focus on making sure that you know all of the projects that you want to work on in a given quarter. Typically, I do work that way. And as I think as I move through this week and figure out what projects I'm going to work on this week that don't need to then be put into Q1 because I've completed them already, I think that's going to be helpful. So technically, I'm filming this video on the 27th. So the week that this video is going live has not happened yet. That's my whole yearly reset. It's possible some of these things that are on my January tending list will end up happening during that yearly reset week. And so that's kind of why I was unsure of how I was going to manage all of this goal stuff. But anyways, I'm going to turn the camera around. This is probably going to be a very long video, so buckle in, and you can speed me up if you want to. I've mentioned this a couple of times that if you want to speed up me talking, speed me up. I listen to myself on 2x speed as I'm trying to get through my videos, and it's not too bad because I am a little bit of a slow talker. So anyways, let's turn the camera around and get planning January. Okay guys, so I recorded that introduction on last Friday, the 27th, and I sat down to do my tending list and drew a blank. Now, I didn't really draw a blank. I know I have a ton of stuff that I need to get done, but I wasn't entirely sure how this week was going to go. And this week is my yearly reset week, and I have been slowly working through some things, not at all as much as I had expected or hoped to work on those things. And so now it is January 2nd, and we just had my co-working live stream in my membership community. And what that is it's like a live stream where we use a Pomodoro technique to focus on a project. And I still had not done my goals. And so I sat down during our co-working session and wrote out my January tending list. Now, I have not done any of the other January prep pages, the quarterly setup pages, all of the things that I normally do at the start of a new quarter, I have not done. And I knew that if I didn't sit down and just write this stuff out, I was not going to make this video for tomorrow. So instead of talking you through my decisions, I just worked on it on my own. And I think that that was actually the block that I was having, that I wanted to film it for you guys, and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, and so I wasn't really able to record it. So instead of me writing everything out while I'm talking to you, I am just going to go through my tending list with you for January. The first thing that I have are my encouraging words, and those are, it's okay to grow slow. And I know that I've mentioned this several times, that I've been sharing my goals over on my website, Townsend House, for years and years and years. And I used to share them in the middle of January. That was when I finished up setting up all of my project plans for the quarter/year. And so that's kind of when I would share them. Over the past several years, I have been a lot better about getting things done early so that I can share them with you before the month starts. But I have really felt the draw to slow down this year and be methodical and intentional about the projects that I'm planning. I actually just finished the book Effortless by Greg McEwen, who also wrote Essentialism. And that was very, very helpful for me to kind of think about the projects that I want to focus on and some of the ideas that I have going into 2025. I did already mention that I am not planning to start my goals until the 6th. So we will be several days into 2025 before I actually start my goals. So it's okay to grow slow. If you are not done with your tending list, if you've not even done your prep work, that is okay. January 1st is just another date on the calendar and you can start at any time. My priority for January is to get back into a good rhythm. I honestly thought that this week was going to be a lot different. Lucy ended up being sick Sunday night into Monday, and so I didn't get a lot of sleep then, and then we stayed up late for New Year's, and I just did not get as much done with my planning as I had hoped. Some of that is because I have the new Common Planner that I am trying to move into and trying to figure out all of the things that I want to track and have in here, because I'm trying to just use this one planner this year for all of my personal planning and everything like that. And that's kind of a new system. So it's going to take me a little bit longer to get into it. And I should have realized that coming into January, that I was going to have cultivate my calendar as well as planner setups. I thought that I would get these things done this week and I would have different projects that I could work on in January, but I haven't. Is there still a possibility that I will do this stuff before Monday? Absolutely. But I am putting it on my January tending list to give myself permission to take my time and kind of move into things a little bit slower than I normally would. And part of the reason is because part of my goals for 2025 is to revamp some of my home management systems that I have, add on to them, and kind of shore them up a little bit more and assign specific tasks to my kids for certain things. And I haven't figured those out quite yet. So I can't really put them in my Common Planner as like a notes page where I say, okay, on Monday, these are the things I'm doing. This is who is responsible for what thing, and I need to work on my monthly cleaning tasks list and just some other things. And those are really going to be things that I'm going to be figuring out throughout the first quarter, I think, and potentially longer than that. So the first two things on my monthly action items are cultivate my calendar, and what that entails is really understanding our year as a whole, thinking through my monthly reset days, trying to figure out specific weekends that we're going to be doing family things, vacation time for my husband, kind of thinking about at least the first 6 months of the year as far as our homeschool schedule goes and when our break weeks are going to be, if we're going to go away anywhere, if we have any big projects that need to be done, all of that kind of stuff I need to just sit down and think about. And I have been doing a little bit of vlogging this week, so you will see some of that next week, and I will talk more about that in future videos. Then the next thing on my monthly action items is planner setups. That is the Common Planner. It is my financial planner, which really won't take me that long. I have some printables that I created that I just need to print out and stick in the planner, and just make sure that all of my Excel reporting is completed, and I think that it is, but I want to adjust some things with the colors. And is that necessary? No, but it's something that I like. So I just need to finish up that. I also have the home planner, and I talk about this a little bit in my vlog that's going to be live next week. Just going through all those weekly projects in the home planner from Passionate Penny Pincher, making sure I have my monthly list for monthly cleaning tasks filled out, figuring out what seasonal things we need to do, and just kind of finalizing all of that stuff to see what needs to move into the Common Planner. I will do a lot of that just pre-planning in the home planner, and I may not transfer that stuff until much later, but it will all be living in the home planner anyways, for the time being, until I can make sure that they are the exact routines that I want to put into my Common Planner. And then my work stuff, I need to finish setting up my work planner, which is really, it's just a notebook. The next thing on my monthly action items is to reset the house. And this is really to get Christmas put away and then to start decluttering some of the things and, going through the pantry and the fridge and the freezer, which I've done a little bit of this week already. I kind of do a whole kitchen reset, usually at the beginning of the year, and it lines up with some of the weekly projects that are in the home planner from Passionate Penny Pincher. So working on that, as well as getting all of the holiday stuff put away. There have been years that we have left it up until the middle of February. I mean, we put the ornaments away, but we leave the trees up with the lights on because we have fake trees and it's so dark and cold in Maine. The lights make me happy, but I'm feeling the need to just get it all put away. And I think that that's probably going to happen this weekend. The next thing is home projects list, and that is relating to the home planner. And this home projects list isn't really part of my goals, my personal goals. These are things that I want to work on for the house, but they are things that I need to discuss with my husband. So it's kind of just brainstorming, figuring out financial stuff, and then sharing that with my husband so that we can work through that together. The next thing is relating to my creating a wellness rhythm that balances health, joy, and creativity. And part of that goal is health related and part of it is hobby related. So I want to print January and December pictures. I have done some of December already. If you watched any of my Vlogmas videos, you may know that December daily was a huge fail for me, but I do still plan to kind of journal some about December and print off some of the pictures that I do have and just stick them in that album. But yeah, I want to get better about printing pictures this year because I take a ton of pictures on my phone, but I never print them. And I ended up purchasing a little photo printer. It just prints 4x6 photos straight from my phone. And they are actually really nice quality photos that I really, really like. So I want to keep printing out photos this year. That is one of my goals, to actually have pictures in hand instead of just digitally, because I have lost a lot of digital pictures over the years. Okay, my next 3 monthly action items are relating to my create a learning environment that inspires my kids' passions and prepares them for real world independence. I'm sorry I didn't talk about what goals go with what color at the beginning. This first one, the green, is create restful rhythms and systems that nurture myself and my family. And then the blue is create a sanctuary at home filled with peace, love, and togetherness. So this one is kind of my homeschool / passions goal. The first thing is a brainstorm meeting with Emma. She has told me that she is prepared to graduate high school this spring, and she has finished all of her requirements. She is a year ahead of her peers. And so we kind of need to have many brainstorm sessions as to what is next for her, whether she wants to go to community college, whether she wants to do some classes at the local university, if she wants to work for a little while, if there are some big projects that she wants to work on. And kind of just exploring all of the options. So I want to do that. I also need to update transcripts. I thought I would do that in December, but I have not done that. And then clean out the homeschool bins. Again, I think I mentioned this maybe in one of my videos in December that I thought I might get to the homeschool bins before Christmas, but I haven't. And I really need to clean those out and get them set up for second semester. And this homeschool bins is also kind of just making sure that I have everything straight for second semester, which I think I do. I mean, we're not changing any curriculum or anything like that, but just getting those cleaned out and putting the new books in and making sure everybody has everything that they need to start school will be very helpful for me. The next goal that I have a monthly action item for is create meaningful adventures that strengthen family bonds and nurture my own sense of wonder. And I want to get the kids passports. And whether we go anywhere, I'm not sure, but I just thought that that would be something good to do, a good action item, especially since I want to spend more time on adventure this year. So getting everybody their passports, I think, is a good idea. I have no idea what that entails. And actually, I think that I need to coordinate with my husband to have him take some time off because I think we have to go together. Then this monthly action item, time tracking. This is for my work goal, and I downloaded an app, and my idea is that I'm going to list out all of the tasks that I do and really get down to the nitty-gritty on how long things are taking me. I do time inventories pretty regularly, probably a couple of times a year, where you go through and you write out exactly what you're doing at specific times. But I thought that this time tracking app would be very helpful for me because I can put in specific tasks like when I am checking Facebook for in my Facebook group for comments or approving posts or approving members or doing emails or whatnot with my Facebook group. And it's all that one task, and I will have a good understanding of how much time I'm spending on that. Same with my Patreon community, same with recording. How long does it take for me to record videos and edit videos? I know that it's going to change periodically depending on how many videos I'm recording in a particular month and how long they are. So, but having a good understanding of how long all of those things are taking me over a month or a couple of months, I think is going to be very helpful for me to make sure that I'm spending the time doing the things that I really need to bring value to my business, as well as understanding how much time I'm spending on homeschooling and how much time I'm spending on personal stuff. So even though this is my work goal in the work color, it's mainly for work tasks, but I am also going to include my AM routine. I want to include, random scrolling on Instagram and stuff, because there are definitely times that I will spend a lot of time scrolling on Instagram or watching YouTube videos or whatnot. And so understanding all of that time, I think is going to be very helpful. Then the last monthly action item relating to my rhythms and systems goal is my monthly reset, which I have set for January 30th. I still need to figure out all of my monthly resets and when I'm going to do that, which is part of my cultivate my calendar, but I think that this will work for this particular month. Then my weekly action items and rhythms, weekly planning and Sabbath rest are both related to my rhythms and systems goal. I do want to work on the home organization challenge from a bowl full of lemons. This is something that I start almost every year, and I print out all of her lovely pages. She has a whole stack of printables, a whole kit going through exactly what you are doing each week, and it is 14 weeks. I've never successfully finished, but it is something that I do want to focus on this year. Home organization is something that I'm always focusing on, but I definitely would like to complete this. So hopefully, because it's on this section, it will prompt me to make sure I'm doing some of these things. Then I have food prep, which is related to my wellness goal, and it's also kind of related to rhythms and systems. A lot of my goals are intertwined. I'm pretty sure that I mentioned this in my 2025 goals video. They are very intertwined, and so often they could go either way for colors, but I have it under wellness, just making sure that we have good food in the house and lots of healthy snacks, especially after all of the holiday snacking, which really starts with Lucy's birthday in October, then Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas and New Year's. We do still have one big food holiday that we celebrate in our home, which is the Super Bowl coming up at the beginning of February, but having lots of healthy snacks, trying to prep vegetables and have meals that are easy to throw together quickly, I think is going to serve me well as I'm trying to set up new rhythms and systems. And it is something that I used to be really, really good at, and I have not been as good at it lately. Then the last two weekly action items / rhythms are for my homeschool goal, homeschool planning, weekly homeschool planning, and then getting back into our screen-free and passion project days, which we haven't really been focusing on in December. The kids have been working on their passion projects all month. Jack has been doing his animation and digital music production, and Emma has been working on her book, but we have a dedicated day for that once we get back into our homeschool rhythm, and so I want to make sure that we are keeping to those. So I just divided this up so that I can keep track of each one of those, that we either do it or we don't do it. each week. And then daily action items / habits are mostly related to my rhythms and systems goal, except for one, which is related to my wellness goal. I feel like that will be pretty common all year. Maybe it won't be, but I think that because I have this rhythms and systems goal, it just makes sense that most of these daily habits are falling under that category. We'll see. So I have AM routine here, and I'm kind of trying to revamp it a little bit. I will get a check mark if I do all 4 of these things, but then each of these individually, I will get a check mark for, individually if I do them. So the first is Write the Word. I have been doing the Write the Word Advent study in December, which was really nice. And I just started the Write the Word Motherhood book, which I'm really excited about. It just makes the most sense for me to have that be my Bible quiet time in the morning, because I do have so many things that I'm trying to do in the morning before the kids get up and we start our homeschool day. And one of the things that I struggled with in 2024 was trying to have so much deep Bible study in the morning, and then I wouldn't have time to do any of the other things. So I'm going back to Write the Word, and then I'm hopefully in the next couple of months going to start incorporating weekly deep Bible study. We'll see. Then reading nonfiction, just 10 to 20 pages of nonfiction. I just started Atomic Habits again, which I read chapter 1 this morning, really good. The next thing is journal, and that is in my Common Planner. I don't expect myself to journal every single day. I used to, and sometimes I need to, but I would like to do some type of journaling in the morning every day, whether it is long form journaling where I'm just like writing a ton of stuff, whether it's a gratitude, whether it is writing in the 5-year diaries that I have for my kids, just some type of journaling. I'm not really being specific about what type of journaling, just that I am doing that so I can get into that practice of writing every morning again. And then the last part of my AM routine is walk, and I've been trying to walk in the afternoons. It's not been as successful as I would like it to be. And I think part of it is because I'm just too tired. The best time really for me to walk is like around 10 a.m. because it's after I've gotten up, I've had my coffee, I've kind of like really woken up for the day, but I can't really take a break at 10 o'clock because it is also when my kids are busy with homeschool and I need to be available for them. So I'm trying to walk in the morning, and I have actually done that the past 2 days, but we're not homeschooling right now either. So we'll see. Usually once we start homeschool, I'm pretty tired in the morning and don't want to walk, or I feel rushed. And so we'll see. We'll see. And then the last daily action item / habit that I want to work on in January is to read during the day. And this is fiction, not nonfiction. I read nonfiction pretty much every morning, and I read fiction every night before I go to bed, whether it's 1 page or 500 pages. Some days I just read a lot. But I want to make myself stop during the day because I do want to focus on rest in 2025 and slowing down. And that, I think, is a good thing for me to kind of stop and sit, and it doesn't have to be for 2 hours. It can be for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just to sit down and read a little bit. Once I start reading, I'm fine, but it's the actual sitting down and starting to read that is a problem, because there's always something else that I need to be focusing on. I feel like there's always something else to be done. Once it gets to be 4 o'clock, I need to start thinking about dinner, which is another reason that I want this food prep to be on my weekly rhythms. These all kind of coordinate with each other. And if I am doing the things will move more smoothly, and I will just be happier about how things are going. But they are all interconnected, and that can sometimes be a little bit of a struggle. So that is my January tending list. I think that this video was still very long. I know that you're not seeing my face as I'm going through this, but I realized that I just needed to get everything on this and set up the camera to record so that I can get this up for you tomorrow. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about, please let me know in the comments, or you can email me. My contact form is always in the description box. I would love for you to come over and check out my membership community if you're not a member and you would like more help and encouragement around homeschooling and home management and goals. It's always a great time over there. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys. Bye.